I truly hate this narrative that if you're a beautiful woman, if you know your worth, and if you are trying to encourage other women to know their worth and to protect it, so then you're a bad person and you have such big ego. The thing is, yes, everyone has their egos. It's such a normal thing, and something really awful and horrible happened. To be honest, I still have hope that Liz in London will come with that message that it's not true, guys. Our accounts were hacked and stuff like that. But I don't know. Who knows? Anyways, I want to make this video not for judging someone or gossiping. I think it's such an awful thing, to be honest. So it's not for this video, is not for cheap entertainment, okay? It's more for your own self-reflection, because I want to raise the awareness of the ego topic. I find the topic extremely important for everyone. And this story can be a very good example. Again, I will talk only about things that I know from her videos without making up any stories or whatever. And I will try to analyze this story from the ego perspective, because again, my main goal is to raise the awareness about this topic so you can go and use that in your own life. Because at the end of the day, guys, whatever is going on around, it's only for your personal reflection. So you can go analyze things, change something in your life so your life gets better, okay? It's not about them, it's about you. You are the main character of your story, so you have to be concerned only about yourself. And even if something is not true, and I might be wrong, I understand that, because only actually God knows what's really going on, what's the purpose of all of this. And I hope that the souls that are going through all of this, and Liz and London, finally will be able also to understand what the real purpose of everything. Here we're just talking about this topic, and hopefully it can help many people, because you will understand why it is so important actually. So also I want to mention this. I truly admire this woman. She's incredibly strong. I have no doubts about transparency of her intention towards other people, that the only thing that she ever wanted is only helping others and lifting them up. And she's been successfully doing that for quite a long time. And I am personally very thankful to her, honestly. So we are about to talk about the wizard Lee's ego, right? And the very first question, many people are asking me about that. What is the ego actually? Because many people, they think that, oh, ego is me, right? My ego is me. No, your ego isn't actually you, because your ego is just your inner, deeply traumatized child. Whatever happened to you has shaped the way your ego is today, okay? Your inner child, which is traumatized, wants to escape that pain. Your inner child is scared, and so it has developed different patterns, many patterns, not just one. Many patterns. Your traumatized inner child has developed different patterns of behavior, different habits in order to protect you from the pain. We know that the wizard Liz has been traumatized by different people, and that is very brutal. We also know that she has been isolating herself, because that's the only way for her to feel that peace. How to understand that, okay, this is where your ego expresses itself the most. When you talk about something that is not really very healthy about you, that is a little bit out of balance, let's say, when you're talking about that with that smile, and it feels like you're even a little bit proud of that, like you can see that satisfaction on your face when you're talking about that. It's like you admit that, yes, that stuff about you is a little bit weird, is a little bit, out of balance, but you are still happy about that. We can see that every time when actually Liz is talking about her feeling comfortable only when she's on her own with her cats at home. She hates going out, she hates being around people and stuff like that. You can see that she's talking with that, with those eyes, that are telling you, yes, yes, that's about me, yes, I like that. And why is it happening like that? Because your ego is so scared that it might lose its control over you. So, to prevent it, your ego makes you believe that this is your own choice, that this is something that you choose yourself. Because only when you feel that this is you, you don't want to break free from it. You don't want to let go of it, because it feels like it's you. That's exactly the main danger of ego, and that's exactly why it is the highest form of evolving, to let go of your ego, right? Because you have to be incredibly strong, spiritually strong, first of all, to do that. And that's why the main mission of all of us is to go through this process, because the only purpose of all of us being here is our mental bodies, our souls have to evolve. That's it. And the only thing, the only way for them to evolve is going through these kind of spiritual struggles. That's when your soul is stronger than your mind. So again, your mind thinks that, okay, my ego is actually me, whatever my ego wants, this is what I want, and you are following this path, right? That is your ego dictating. And since our life wants us to evolve, it gives you more and more pain. So the pain becomes unbearable and you will finally start doing something, and that's exactly what is happening to Liz, probably. Again, I might be wrong, but if we see that from the perspective that when she first, and she actually she's mentioned that by herself, that she was isolating herself, right? Then she put herself out there, and then immediately she started receiving those blessings from God. But then she kept isolating herself. Actually, even after she met London, she was talking about like, oh, I want to be on my own. I only like, I hate going out and stuff like that. Again, and it seemed like she's truly enjoying that. But when you make a choice, for example, I only want to be on my own. I feel good only when I'm alone. Yes, I don't feel good when I'm around people. Why does your ego make that choice? Because your ego is scared. Again, what is ego? Ego is your traumatized child, which is scared. So your ego is scared. When you feel uncomfortable around people, why is your inner child so scared? for example, in this particular situation, right, that you don't feel comfortable around people, your inner child is scared that those people might hurt you because they are bad people, because people can only betray and stuff like that. So your ego believes that people are bad, so that's why it is scared of being around people, right? So that's your belief, which is deep inside. And when you have that belief, you are attracting people who will prove to you that yes, that's true. Your subconscious doesn't see it like, okay, those people are bad, but this one person is good, you know? It thinks, okay, if you think that all people can only betray and stuff like that, I will show you that that's true, right? And then you are attracting people like that. So means you have your ego, which is constantly attracting people like that. That is heavy. That is really heavy. And in order to break free from this unhealthy pattern, you have to first break free from your own ego, from that narrative that your traumatized inner child has created inside you, that people are bad, people can only hurt, people can only betray. Right, it's in her example, for example, I have like the exact opposite situation, right? My inner child was always scared of being alone. It's not safe to be alone because of the circumstances that I had in my childhood. So actually, I had to unlearn this unhealthy belief and learn the new one, that it's also okay to be on my own. So in order to be able to do that, I had to let go of my ego, of my inner child that always wanted to be around people and didn't want to be on his own, you know. So that's the way my ego was expressing itself in me. And yes, it was also difficult for me to let go of it, because it also felt just like part of me. But then when you start doing that, you understand that there is not such thing as self, like this is me, you know, the only way. You actually can be whatever. Today you might enjoy being on your own, tomorrow you might enjoy being around people, and whenever you don't have those patterns, that those unhealthy patterns, you know, that and those unhealthy belief system inside you that is constantly attracting like not really nice people, then it's fine, then you are safe. But whenever you let your ego, you know, create that belief system inside, that is constantly, and you are feeding that belief system with those desires, like, oh, I just want to be at home and alone, oh yes, you know, that's the way you are feeding energetically that belief system, and that belief system becomes more and more powerful and keeps attracting more and more people that will prove to you that yes, your belief system is, you know, is correct, your ego is right, and you in the end of the day you are creating your own reality, you know. You even don't understand how your own ego creates the reality that afterwards make you suffer, you know. And then you are surprised, like, why did that happen to me? You don't understand that actually you are the one who is doing that work, you know. The ego that you worship so much is actually creating the reality that makes you feel so miserable and gives you so much pain at the end of the day. And a little bit about London. I have no idea about his past, to be honest. So it's really hard to even analyze, like, what's wrong with his ego and blah, 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 you know. But what I know for sure is after I watched that video when they were together, when Liz was laughing about, like, oh, someone said that Landon is handsome, and she was laughing about that, like, oh, can you believe they called you handsome? I mentioned that look that he gave her, I mentioned his eyes. He didn't say anything, but I mentioned that hurt him because of how many times he's mentioned that, oh, you're so beautiful, Liz, you're so beautiful, you're so beautiful. We can understand that that is important for him. Maybe that is not important for her, whether her man is handsome or not, but that is important for him because whatever someone is constantly mentioning, that is important to him. That is important to him about himself as well, not only about her. If he admires the way she looks, so it means it's also important for him. And it's such a big mistake when we are so focused on ourselves, and we might think like, I'm such an incredible, amazing woman. My emotional intelligence is, my beauty is, I have my own money, and for him, it should be more than enough. He has me, and that's enough. But no, if we don't understand what's special about our partner's ego, and when we don't feed that ego, because ego always wants to eat. Your ego is always hungry, always. So if you don't give what your partner wants, your partner will find how to feed his ego. Be sure 100%. Even if afterwards he will lose everything, the love of his life, everything, because his ego is his nature. There is I'll quickly tell you a very nice story, parable about the frog and the scorpion. A scorpion once asked the frog to help him go across the river, and the frog replied like, no way, because you're a scorpion, you'll sting me and I'll die. Yeah. And the scorpion replied like, come on, don't be silly. If I sting you, oh, we are both gonna drown and die, and what's the point? Like, I'll never do that, don't worry. So, and then the frog agreed, like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then halfway across the river, that scorpion. Then halfway across the river, that scorpion stung the frog, and as both of them started to sink, the frog cried out, "But why? Why did you do that? Now both of us, we're gonna die." And then the scorpion calmly replied, "I'm so sorry. I couldn't help it. It's just in my nature." So your ego is kind of your nature, and that's why it's so hard to not be a slave of your nature, and then you make those kind of decisions that can literally ruin your life. That's why it's so important to be aware of your nature, to be aware of your ego, because it is possible to change that. It is possible. In fact, that's the only thing that you have control over. Your own mind, your own emotions, your own desires, your conscious, your subconscious. Those are the only things you have control over. So it's better to focus on that rather trying to control other people. And when you're aware of your ego, when you work on that, also when you are aware of other people's egos, so you become extremely smart. It's very hard to manipulate you, and that is a very good thing to know. That is a very good thing to learn. Okay, and more about this topic, how to find what your ego is, and what are the ways and the typical ways for different egos to express themselves. So about all of this, I'm going to talk about my upcoming videos, and I hope that this video was helpful. And yeah, see you in my next video. Bye.